Good day, fish tankers. I was at the boxing the other night and I was doing some ringside commentary. That's another thing I do that's unrelated to fish keeping. And before the fight started, I was talking to my announcing partner there, and he said he discovered I had a YouTube channel on tropical fish. And then he told me about the experience that he had. He got this aquarium. That's something that him and his kid could enjoy together. And they got the aquarium and they set it up. And then they looked at the fish and they just picked up two of these nice little sharks, a couple of guppies, a few of the red ones, a few of the blue ones, this whole mixed bag of fish. They brought it home, they put it in the tank. It looked lovely for a day or two. He says, and then afterwards, every single day, there's two fish dead, one fish dead, another three dead. And says every day for 10 days, we just scooped away dead fish till everything was dead. It was such an unpleasant experience. The kid was upset. And yeah, fish are just too difficult. I don't want to do that again. That was just too much stress. And that's a story that I've heard over and over and over again. It's unnecessary. It's an upsetting story. And I went through it as a kid. And why does it have to be this difficult to start an aquarium? And why does it have to be this drama of drying fish everywhere and running to the shop and chucking in all kinds of chemicals? It doesn't have to be that way. So I'm just going to give you a few pointers if you're going to get your first aquarium or get an aquarium for your kid, how to start this off the right way without all the drama and heartache. If that sounds interesting, then stick around. Now, the first thing that you've got to understand with fish keeping is you are creating an ecosystem in a different underwater environment. It's not the environment where we, our dogs, cats and hamster live in. It's a little bit different. You have to create an ecosystem first. So that's something you have to understand. So go and get your aquarium and all the equipment, go home and set it up. But then whatever you do, don't go and buy back to the store and buy a lot of fish and put it in immediately. And if a store tries to sell you all the fish together with a tank, you might consider whether you want to support that store, because they just want to sell you that again, because they know, unless they're brand new in the store and they haven't been trained properly, that this is not going to work out. You have to establish environment in that aquarium. You have to establish a population of beneficial aerobic bacteria that will convert toxic waste, because waste in that enclosed environment becomes toxic, and they have to convert that waste back into less toxic or harmless substances, and it takes time for that bacteria to get established. I'm not going to give you a whole lesson on the nitrogen cycle. Google it, go look there on YouTube, there's a lot of videos. But once you've brought the tank home, don't add fish. The quickest way you can get your tank ready is to take that filter and add filter media from an established aquarium. If you know a fellow aquarist, that'll be the quickest. But most likely you do not. And how I always got tanks going, if once the tank is running, just put in a pinch of food. You can put in plants, that'll help as well. But just put in a pinch of food and then you wait. I found it's a very old school way to do it, but it is effective. Just let everything run and put the lights on and off if there are plants, but don't add any fish. And I just would run it for at least 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, you can test. You get an ammonia test kit and a nitrite NO3 test kit. And those two water parameters must be 0. That's important. Ammonia, nitrite kills fish every time. And if you just put in fish in an aquarium where there's no beneficial bacteria established, but mostly grows on the filter media and also on the substrate and all other surfaces of the aquarium, not in the water, then the fish waste, as soon as you feed them, will spike ammonia and it will kill the fish. And then some bacteria will come and it will convert it into nitrite, which is still toxic, but it will still kill the fish. But eventually the nitrite gets converted into nitrate in a very simple explanation, which is much less toxic to fish, only in high concentrations. So don't put in all the fish immediately. Start with an empty tank running, put in a pinch of flake food, and wait 3 weeks. You might have to wait as long as 4 weeks. After 3 weeks, test the water, see if there's ammonia, see if there's nitrite. If that reads 0, then you do not have a problem. Then you can add some fish. You know, if you're going to have 30 fish in a tank, or depending what the size of a tank is, or 10 fish, then just add 3 to start with, 2 or 3, and then you wait a week, then you add more until you've got your full stocking level. That is the most important thing. That's why what happened to my friend and his youngster's aquarium happened, because I put in all the fish at once. There was no beneficial bacteria established, and then there was an ammonia spike and a nitrite spike. We didn't even know about it, and it killed all the fish. And who wants to start again like that? So that's the first thing. There are other ways of cycling an aquarium. You can Google it. There are some people that can do a fish in cycle. There's good videos of that. I'll put it in the description, but I don't recommend that. It's just too much stress. It's expensive. It requires certain chemicals to neutralize the ammonia and the nitrite. I wouldn't do a fish in cycle unless you can get an established filter from an established tank, or filter media from an established tank. Then you can do it. But if you're just starting brand new, I would just add a bit of food, and then I would wait the bacteria will develop on its own. There are bacteria in a bottle products that a lot of people swear by. Personally, I've never used it. Please tell me in the comment section, have you used bacteria in a bottle, and did it cycle a tank very fast? I know in America you've got a product called Fritz here, Seachem Stability. I don't 100% trust those products, but tell me in the comment section what your experience was. But that is the main thing. Don't add all the fish at once in a brand spanking new aquarium. It needs to establish a bacterial population first. Guys, if you find this tip useful, please hit that like button. I will greatly appreciate it. And please also share with somebody who you know is considering getting an aquarium, so that they know this little thing. And then the second bit that you have to be aware of, got a bit of an itch there, is all fish can't live with all other fish. And fish do not just grow to the size of a tank. They keep on growing, or sometimes they get stunted, and the stunting eventually kills the fish. So do a bit of research before you buy fish. Because those little sharks that my friend spoke about that didn't make it very far anyway were reticent sharks. They become massive fish. They're not suitable for a smaller home aquarium. And some fish are super aggressive. For example, many cichlids, a bicolor shark, a red-tailed shark. You know, you can't put more than one in a tank because they have species-specific aggression. So look before you buy whether these fish are compatible. Mostly fish that can fit other fish in their mouths will eat it, and what their temperament is. Some are just peaceful shoaling fish, others are aggressive. So do a bit of reading on what tank size a fish requires and whether they are peaceful community fish. If they're not peaceful, then maybe you can just keep them on their own. That's also an option. But that is the two things that you must consider to stop that heartache and that disaster of a first aquarium. You have to run it in so that you can establish the nitrogen cycle. That's number one. And number two, you've got to know what you're buying. Don't just buy random fish, because once you've run your tank in and you buy the wrong kind of fish, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have an Oscar that grows too big for the tank that you have to rehome, or you're going to have one fish that kills all the other fish. So then you have like a double whammy, because those are the two most common things that beginners struggle with. Guys, that's it from me. It's a short video, but I hope that can help to stop that heartache of a first tank. So guys, until I see you again, please remember to take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.